And we're back.
Hi, my friend. Welcome to the channel. Today is the first day of October.
First day of October.
And our monthly theme is virtue and kindness.
Virtue and kindness. Okay, that's nice. I'm looking forward to this theme.
You ready for today's lesson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let virtue shine bright. It begins with a quote by Marcus. He says, "Does the light of a lamp shine and keep its glow until its fuel is spent? Why shouldn't your truth, justice, and self-control shine until you are extinguished?"
What are the three? Justice.
Truth,
Truth. Mm-hmm.
justice,
Mm-hmm.
self-control.
Self-control. Mm-hmm.
It's like discipline.
So I would assume that this is what they mean by virtue.
Yeah, there is one more that he didn't mention here, which is courage.
Courage.
Those are the 4 Stoic virtues.
4 Stoic virtues. Can we say that again?
Truth,
justice,
self-control, courage.
courage. Truth, justice, self-control, and courage. Okay, those last 2 are popping up as like I need to focus there or something. There's yeah, okay. Cool.
Those are the 2 that Ryan has already written about.
Yeah. What do you got? What do you have on this?
What I have is I just woke up from my nap, and so
Oh, okay. So you're ready to
I'm like,
discuss
this looks
topics.
good to me.
You're like, this is great.
It looks good to me. Truth, justice, self-control, courage.
Yeah, the self-control part is probably the one. The courage is kind of like, what is courage? Courage is like
Courage is doing the right thing.
doing the right
even
thing.
though it's hard.
Even though it's hard. Yeah, doing the right thing even though it's hard. That's probably where I'm like, oh, like sometimes I don't do the hard stuff, right? Or something like that, you know?
Courage is the thing that initiates the action,
Mhm.
but then you need self-control to finish the action.
To finish or to continue, so like self-control to create like a habit type
Yep.
of a thing, yeah. And or self-control to some habits, you know, that you don't really want,
And like
or they're not serving you, let's say.
truth is getting down to the bottom of things. Like getting down to the
Go on.
bottom of things the way they really are, including
Yeah.
oneself. Like getting down to the bottom of
Yeah.
my beliefs and the things that are influencing my behavior that I don't maybe realize are influencing my
Mhm.
behavior. That's part of the whole truth thing.
Yeah, like
And
that's a continuous endeavor or something,
Mhm.
right? I sometimes I want to say like, oh, well, I got that covered because I understand the definition of truth, and because of that, I'm good. But there are things that I might be acting from like a belief that I don't revisit, and that belief is no longer actually truthful to how I, you know, if I went there and revisited it, then I would be like, oh my God, I can't do that. But somehow I believe in these old things, and that's how I'm reacting, let's say, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so truth is like a rabbit hole that can never really be fully explored.
Right.
And then justice.
But it needs to be explored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's saying until you are extinguished.
We'll never finish the exploration. Right. Yeah. We'll never finish the exploration. But we do need to explore it.
Right.
It's
This
so
is why
interesting.
saying like this is something to do
'Cause
until I die.
That's interesting because like why maybe we don't go to that is because we need some sort of accomplishment, some sort of an ending to. I understand it. Now I have accomplished. You know, I now understand what truth is, right? Or like I have some sort of a conclusion about it, right? But this is saying, no, there is no conclusion. This just keeps unveiling, and you have to kind of live by these principles that makes you live truthfully to yourself and to others and to all of that stuff, right? And seek the truth, continuously seeking the truth, like it's never accomplished. And I feel like that's why maybe a lot of people, including me, don't want to continue to dig into that stuff. It's like we settle, right? We just say, "Oh, like that's fine. It's fine the way it is, right? Like that's okay. Like I get that. That's how it is. Like I don't want to go back there and revisit it again and again and again to learn the actual truth from what it is. I'm like comfortable to say this. It is like that, and that is true, right? And so like I don't need to go back there, but that's not true, right? So because that setting over the truth is never. I'm trying to set it and forget it type of a thing, right? And it's like none of these things really work that way. They all are continuously changing and unveiling, and like continuously have to be therefore revised to, you know, if I'm working from some map that I set this map, this is my territory, this is how I operate, that's my map. Well, and I'm not changing this, right? Like that's this world is not gonna match this. I have to be always open to adjust anytime, whenever I learn something new. I need to kind of be with that flow of the new stuff that's coming, not be this rigorous, like, oh, this is how it is, and that's what it is. Like, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about sounds like the difference between the fixed mindset versus a growth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're in a growth mindset, there's no end point to anything. And that's such a mind fuck from how we were raised and praised for our work and things. And so part of adulthood, or punished. And so part of adulthood is saying, like, wait, nothing is fixed, including me. And so it's my job my entire life to keep working this thing forward.
Mm-hmm.
And now Marcus is like, okay, well, you work it forward. What is the forward? Let's define what forward is. It's these virtues: truth, justice, self-control, courage. Justice helps me figure out what the right thing is to begin with. Courage helps me act on that right thing and overcome my fear and nervousness about doing the right thing. Discipline makes sure that I follow through on my action. And then truth makes sure that I'm seeking and like contemplating and investigating.
You mean
self-control.
Self-control, that's right. Yeah. Discipline, yeah. And then the last
They talk about it differently at different times.
The last one was what?
Truth.
Truth, yeah. Revisiting all the beliefs, all belief structures, and continue to like learn.
Belief structures about who I am.
Yeah.
Belief structures about what I think the world is and how the world functions and operates. But I have all of these assumptions built up that are just like, oh, this is how the world is. But no, it's not. This is not how the world is. This is how I've mapped the world at some point.
You currently think how the world is, yeah, but it's that's malleable or changeable, you know. Therefore, it's not the way we think it is, you know. Yeah.
You ready for Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
He says, Seneca, repeating Heraclitus, writes that we mortals are lighted and extinguished. The light of reason suffuses the universe. Whether the wick of your lamp is being lit for the first time after a long period of darkness, or even right before the proverbial big sleep, it makes no difference. Here is where you are right now. And it's as good a place as any to let virtue shine and continue to shine for as long as you exist. Cool, I'm getting like kind of a different message from Ryan, which is like, it's never too late to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we probably think that there is like oh, there's so much. If I go try to improve this somehow or work with this or something, like, oh, this is gonna be. If I want to adjust my thinking process or something, it's gonna be so much work, right? It seems like there's so much work, but maybe it's not so much work. In some way it is, but it's in other way it comes much quicker than we think, and it's maybe even maybe less work than what we think. That's part of our problem, that we have a belief that is not necessarily true, that we can't change because we're too deep down in the hole, and now we have to work through this thing all the way up to the surface. Like, we're not that deep. We make it very complicated. Yes, and we justify those intricacies of all of that stuff that matters, and then we get to a point where it's just not
all of the quail are on the driveway right now. Yeah, and we might need help with it. Like, we might need to seek therapy, or we might need to seek some sort of teacher or coach in various aspects of our lives to help us kind of jumpstart the change in the right direction. But it's not too late, and it's not too complicated.
Yeah.
And ultimately, once you get a few wins under your belt, it's actually fun.
Yeah, because the improvements are like, oh my God, this feels great, right? Like, it's not like, maybe it seems painful to go through it when we haven't started, but once we started, all of a sudden there's a bunch of low-hanging fruit that is like, oh wow, quick win, oh wow, that feels great, oh wow, I actually want to continue. Like, that comes very quickly, right? And now it's not like a chore, it's like a yay, it's like, finally I'm getting some forward movement in these
It
places.
seems like it's going to be painful because you're starting out in a place that is supremely painful already.
Right.
And so it's hard to imagine how could this be less painful? And this is already so painful. It's like overwhelmingly painful. I almost cannot bear it.
Yeah.
And it is a different kind of pain, but the pain starts softening a lot.
Yeah, and so that not excuse, but that analysis of it, like, oh, this is gonna take a really long time, is perhaps part of the issue, right? That why we don't actually move forward, because we believe this stuckness. We are stuck and we cannot move forward, and no one can help. And that's it, right? So that's part of it. Like, oh, we are convinced of that, but maybe that's not necessarily also true, right? So yeah, so being open to possibilities of continuous change or something, yeah, continuous change is possible, and it is constantly happening. So why not this change? Right? It's never too late for it. Yeah. Cool. Anything else on your end? Excellent.
See you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.